Willing Plan Commission meeting for Thursday, January 28th, 2016 is called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Commissioner Dorban.
I'm here.
Commissioner Saku. Here. Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
I'm Commissioner Powers. I'm here. Commissioner Zangara.
Here.
Chairman Rafato.
Here.
And Commissioner Sienas is absent with prior notice.
Brooke, any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Okay. Number 5, citizen concerns and comments. At this time, if there is anyone wishing to speak on any item other than those on items for review, can come forward now. Yes.
Hello. I'm actually not a citizen. I don't know if I should be doing this under other business.
That's fine.
Or...
No, you can do it now. If you can just give your name.
Okay, my name is Frank Slow. I'm the founder and director of the American Aid Foundation. Our foundation, our main programs are we work with homeless veterans and other homeless, as well as abused, neglected, and troubled children. The reason I'm here is I'm here to ask the Planning Commission for reconsideration and some compassion in things such as the people that we serve. You know, people such as Private First Class, Marine Private First Class John, who first time I met him on the streets, this proud, brave Marine was in tears talking to me about how he didn't understand why, after 2 tours in Iraq and in 1 tour in Afghanistan, that every day that he was there on duty, he was surrounded by people that wanted to have him dead. And in his last tour, he ended up losing part of his arm in an IED incident with one of in his vehicle. And he just didn't understand why it was that he ended up on the street. He came back, went into the hospital, and came out, and they weren't giving him disability for at least a year. He had no job and anything at that point. And as well as the other people that we do help, and those are the abused children and the children with unbelievable horror stories of their lives, of what they've gone through in their young lives. And I'm here to ask for compassion for them. At this point, with the way the economy is right now, you know, donations are very hard to come by. So our foundation, what we were looking to do is start a new venture, which was going to be a banquet facility and a small thrift shop. And we had found a location in Wheeling, and we had come and spoke to Ms. Jones and Mr. Jennings in late August, and told them about our plans, and everything seemed to be fine. But at the end of the meeting, we were told that the likelihood of us getting a special use permit would probably be nil unless the owner, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, with Wolf Point Shopping Center, Mr. Soka, if he didn't put a brand new parking lot and a new street sign and a couple other aesthetic things in here. When interim, over the past 5 months, we've been looking everywhere we can for another facility, because I did go to him, and he just does not have the ability, the funds at this time to do those upgrades. So we've looked everywhere. There is no other place in the entire area for us to do this venture. And at this time, I'm just here to ask the commission to please reconsider, and out of compassion for those that we serve, reconsider and not do it for the owner of the shopping center, but do it for those that we serve, to please reconsider your position on this, because without this facility, there's so many people that are in need that we just are not going to be able to help. And like I said, we've tried. You could not believe how much we have gone out there looking for other facilities, and this is the only place in the area that would be able to suit the needs that we need for this venture. So I'm just, you know, it's hard because I see these people all the time, and you know, what they've gone through and stuff, and it just tears my heart apart to know, the way the economy is, we just can't help that many people because the donations have gone down so significantly because of the economy. And this venture we know is a successful one because one of our directors actually did it for another nonprofit, and they actually were just doing it out of a gymnasium. And it was a very profitable venture, but they since have had that gymnasium torn down, so they don't do it anymore. So it was an idea that we thought our foundation would do, and that we could do something to be able to do so much more for those that we do serve. So I just wanted to come before the board and ask that you please reconsider your position as far as the Wolf Point Shopping Center.
Thank you for your, thank you for your comments, sir, and thank you for helping the folks that you've talked about today. What I would suggest you do is you continue to work with staff going forward, and if it comes before us, it will come before us, but I would just continue to work with staff, Ms. Jones and Mr. Jennings, as you move forward through this process.
Well, the only situation we have here is we've been told that if he doesn't make the improvements, we're never going to get the special use permit, which kind of puts us as a non-starter.
I can't comment on that. I can't comment on that. That's why I would say that you just continue to work with Ms. Jones. I believe he has been before us many times in the past on items. Frankly, I can't remember how we voted on them, but again, my suggestion would be to work with Ms. Jones.
Is there anything in regards to working with Ms. Jones that would give us a more likelihood to be able to?
I really can't comment on it. I really can't comment on that.
I mean, it could be, I would just say that, you can work with staff and they're probably giving you comments that you'd likely hear from the Plan Commission or the board, but until you actually file the application and go through the process, that's when it would come before the Plan Commission. So if you maybe revisit with them, and it would be more like this is a likelihood of this because of these issues, but we could take another look at it.
Everything for us, I'm always concerned is just spending donors' money to move forward. If I know for a fact that it's never going to go through, that's what I'm just kind of stuck with not knowing whether.
Well, we can definitely talk about options if you'd like to make an appointment with us. We will sit down with you and go through the range of options in proceeding, and we will try to help you through this.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling docket number PC 1601, Horizon Park, 385 Schoenbeck Road, minor site plan and appearance approval of park modifications. Ms. Jones?
No comments at this time.
Great. Mr. Raffel, good evening. How are
Hi.
you this evening?
My name is Larry Raffel. I'm the Superintendent of Planning at the Wheeling Park District, and we're back before you tonight as required with the landscape plan and the location of the site furnishings. We provided all the information and some additional information to help you understand what our landscape plan is, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Before I bring it to the Plan Commission members, I really appreciate the work that you've done. This is really a great plan, and what you've put together on here was great. And I apologize if there was any confusion, and what you've put together as far as the pictures and everything was, in my mind, really great. Very great, really very nice. And thank you. I know you've worked with staff, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. So I'll start with Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. I too appreciate the additional work that's been done. The detail is great and leaves me with no further questions on it. Thank you.
Commissioner Powers.
I have one quick question. In the parking lot, I guess it's the the northeast corner, is that the basketball court there that was like, the little red area, is that the basketball court? And what, the oval area to the east of there, what is that? What is that area? What is that going to be used for? If you pull, yeah, I see, let's see.
That one?
Yeah.
You can see it right there.
What are you looking at there?
The upper right there, what is that oval area in the?
That's a basketball court. It's the exact same location we showed you when we were here
And the
before.
area in the red to the left of that is what?
That's the existing building, same as
Oh,
the site plan
okay,
before.
okay.
Nothing has changed there.
All right, great plan, well done. I have nothing else, thanks.
Mr. Isaku?
I have no comments either.
Commissioner Zangara?
I just have one comment. With the path that kind of ends at the building and then goes to on the other side, the bike, I guess bike path, walking path, was there any consideration, I love the way it is, so I'm not, but was there any consideration of having that path like bypass that area? My guess is like people running.
I'm not familiar with where you're talking about.
If you go to, yeah, that plan works fine. So where that light blue path is that runs past the park, and then it comes to where the bathrooms are. The bike path kind of dead ends into the concrete area,
Yes,
and then it starts up on the other side of the building.
yes.
Was there any thought of moving that path so it's just continuous, like on the other side of the basketball court?
No.
Okay, I just know over at Pleasant, a lot of people, you have the connection with Muir Park over there. People always use that and bypass the park area because there's always kids hanging out there. So it was just a suggestion, that's all. But otherwise, everything was great. Thank you.
Commissioner Dorban?
Well, as always, the Park District has presented an amazing packet. And it is well thought out and will be an amazing enhancement to our village. And it will be wonderful to have it next to the library when it's completed. And I think the plantings are fabulous. Thank you.
These are just general questions. Are you going to still have an ice skating rink there in the winter?
Yes.
That's great, that's great. How about a general question, I may have asked it the last time. The pickle courts, how are they working out? I mean, are they,
At Chamber Park,
yeah,
they work out great.
are they?
Yeah.
Any plans of, any thoughts of adding more or anything like that? Because I heard it's a great sport, and I was just curious.
Not at this park, no.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great, so what is the, now that you, and I understand with the great facility that you put here with the ball fields, and you took out the ball fields here, so what is going to be the use of that? Just a general area that you can do football or soccer, things like that?
Yeah. We'll mark it out for football or soccer or lacrosse or whatever sport we need in that time. But it's just open lawn area.
Yeah, it's a great piece of property. And again, thank you for the work that you put into this. Is a great, this is a good example of what is a nice example of what we're looking for when somebody comes before us for with landscape plans. It's really great. Thank you. So do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Dorban, second by Commissioner Johnson. Mr. Secretary?
Commissioner Dorban?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Saku?
Yes.
I'm Commissioner Powers, I vote yes. Commissioner Zangara?
Yes.
Chairman Rafato?
Yes. Thank you. We'll have something for you to sign.
How long is it going to take you to get it done, Larry?
We still have to get permits, so.
Yeah. Once you get the permits, sometime this year, maybe?
We want to get permits in the next couple of weeks.
No, I mean, just to get it completed. You think it'll be done this year?
Before the end of the year.
Okay.
I'm sure we have one in the office, just not on the line.
Let me-
Sign just both of those. And you can keep one for yourself. That one's for you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Ready for the next one? Calling docket number PC 1602, Blooming Mines Academy, 581 North Wolf Road, minor site plan and appearance approval of outdoor play space. Ms. Jones, anything?
I just wanted to add that the property owner provided a written statement I distributed at your area, at your desk this evening, and I just want to bring that to your attention, that he is consenting to the fencing at the rear of the property.
Thank you. Could you state your name and your business address?
Sure. Good evening. I'm Olga Hamichonak, and I'm at 581 North Wolf Road in Welling.
Okay, and
Yes, it's K-H-A-M-I-C-H-O-N-A-K.
so, oh, that's easy. Card. So the floor is yours to explain what you are proposing to do.
Well, what I would like to do is build a small fence around my current unit. Right now, our programs don't allow us to get even outside even for a little bit in the summertime, and it would be great if we could just get out for a little bit, play with water, because our students are very young, so it's very beneficial for their development to play with water, play with sand, and in the summertime, we just right now cannot do it, unfortunately, even for a little bit. But it would be great if they could get out and the area could be fenced for their protection.
Anything else to add? Anything else that you want to say?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Powers?
Thanks. On the diagram we're given, you're going to put the fence up, but you're also going to put some kind of fabric on the fence? Is like a screen or something like that?
That's what the construction guy suggested. I think he wanted to put some fabric on at the top. For what reason, I don't know, to be honest with you. But I think the most important part and what the main concern was is that we have enough of those, what are they called? Bollards, so no cars can accidentally go through.
Okay.
So for the record, are you requesting the fabric or not?
Not really.
Okay, no fabric.
See, what else was I going to ask? Oh, so you're just going to put the fence in, but you're going to leave the asphalt as is inside of that area? You won't be like removing the asphalt, putting some type of grass in there or anything like that?
No, but I was I was thinking maybe put something like rubber squares.
Okay.
Put them together so in case a kid falls, they don't get hurt.
Okay. Are you going to put any kind of equipment in that area or anything like that?
Maybe like sandboxes,
Okay.
some small, maybe to play with water. Some, if anything to climb on, then something small where like it's, so it's no major construction basically there.
And there was no kind of like an entrance gate anywhere in that fence when it was when you're going to have it constructed? I don't remember reading anything. Was there, I thought I remember something about a gate with a lock on it and.
Yes, we recommended that and I requested the second proposal to include it.
So there will be, what, like a 4-foot opening, like for a gate? There'll be like a swing gate?
It will be a gate and also the opening will be, you can push
Okay.
on the opening to get out quickly. I think the fire marshals recommended it and
Okay.
It's
and-
whatever recommendations will
No,
be
that's
done, we'll
fine.
do it.
That's fine. And I see we have a letter here regarding the door. That's not the overhead door. That's, I guess we're all set there. So you guys, it seems like we're in good standing with that. I really have nothing else. Thank you.
Commissioner Dorband.
Thank you. I know that in this particular case, he's talking about a fabric to go over the top of the chain link. I have seen them in school districts where they put hard tops, to protect children from getting hurt on the chain link. So I can understand where he's going with that. There are chances for children to get their fingers caught in those bends on the top of the chain link. So I think that is a good idea. And I would like you to look a little more into it and think a little more about those little fingers that can get caught in the top of that chain link.
Whatever can protect those little fingers.
So in the school district I was at, they had them on all of the chain link fences.
Oh, I see. That's the
So,
reason. Okay,
I just encourage you to look a little further.
all right.
That's the only anything I had to say. Thank you.
Is that it, Commissioner Dorband? Anything more?
Barbie?
Anything more?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. So you're talking about just plain chain link fence and hopefully with the protective thing on top now? No screening at all to keep the kids out of view of whatever else is going on behind all those buildings?
To be honest with you, I think the
Fabric.
fence, the fabric will be helpful for the fingers, but I also think the fence should be see-through. I thought that was the requirement.
Is that a requirement for DCFS?
I think so. I'm
They're not
sure.
familiar with the DCF requirements, so
okay.
if you could state for the record.
I'm honestly very open to do whatever is best. It's just I thought my understanding was probably the requirement was DCFS, but if you think the
I
fence
just
will be-
thought for privacy, the screening, but if it's a DCFS.
We believe, staff
You know,
believes
if
that
it's-
the DCFS requirement is that the fencing shall be open,
Okay,
which is why we were in agreement with this type of chain link style.
But also,
you should
this
verify
this
that.
little area is also very secluded.
Right.
Even though we put these posts for the cars, but I was trying to see when the cars actually drive around. And around the time where we need it, around 10, 11, it's very quiet. There's literally nobody there, and since it's in the back, I thought it should be pretty private there.
okay. Another thing I was wondering, would a guardrail be better than bollards? A solid guardrail around it?
It would be up to the fire department's comments, and, I don't know if it's better.
Okay. I mean, obviously you couldn't have it wherever the gate is, and do you know where exactly the gate is going to be? It's not shown on the sketch,
Oh, I
just.
see. You know what, he didn't send me the sketches, but I thought probably he didn't draw it to me, but I would think somewhere in this corner over here on the left-hand side.
On the
This side?
20-foot side, like the middle of the
this side?
20-foot side?
But maybe not on this side, but on the,
Over here?
yes. No, closer to the corner, but on the horizontal line, this where it says 33 in the left-hand corner, probably here.
I would recommend it on the short side.
On the short side, okay.
Because there is traffic that goes through there.
Okay, so we'll do it then. Closer, would you make it closer to the wall or closer to the outside area?
Yeah, that probably depends on how they want to construct the fence. I mean,
Okay,
But yeah, I would say in the center of that side or closer to the building would be better.
all right, we'll do it that way.
What's in the 583 unit? Do you know offhand?
Right now, it's a ballroom dance studio.
Oh, okay. So not much need for the garage door. I think that's all I had. Thanks.
Commissioner Zangara?
Thank you. How many kids do you have?
Well, right now it depends in the morning and in the evening because we're in Richmond, so they come in and then they go. So a little over 100 now,
Okay.
but they're not
All
all
at
at the
once?
same time, so they come and go and change.
With regards to the gates, I would just really ask the fire department, because they're the ones that'll tell you exactly where it needs to be.
Oh, okay,
They might want it straight, so when you come out, if they could see it right away, I would just ask them.
all right.
And lastly, I guess my concern, I mean, I know it's a ballet, but with that fenced-in area, I know kids are kids. Is there any way to protect that overhead door from the kids hitting it and disturbing the ballet? Is there something to do there?
Yeah, we could. I also wanted to mention that if it ever vacates, which we think it will, I will also rent it.
Okay.
So eventually it will be.
I mean, I don't know if you'd put, just benches or stuff for the
Okay,
chaperones, just something so it deteriorates the
Yeah.
kids from hitting that door. That's,
yeah.
I would suggest
But
that.
also at that time, I will do it, absolutely, I agree with you, kids are kids. But also the good thing is that in the morning where we would be using it, there's no one in that adjacent unit.
Okay.
They are mostly in the evening.
That's all I have.
Commissioner Isako?
Thank you. My primary concerns were the bollards and the landlord approval, so I'm happy to see those changes. With a lot of daycares in my family, so we actually have have these concerns also. So my other thing was the DCFS question. I wasn't sure if that was going to be an issue, but it sounds like it's not with the fence. I thought visibility would be, but I'm surprised that they wanted it to be open. So, nope, no other concerns.
Well, thank you. I have a couple of concerns. One with 583, and I see that Mr. Baker here has said that perhaps the inclusion of a similarly constructed gate within this fencing might further mitigate any access issues having to do with 583's loading dock area. Ms. Jones, am I to interpret that as to put a fence in front of the overhead door? Is that how I'm reading that? Perhaps the inclusion of a similarly constructed gate within this fencing might further mitigate any access issues having to do with 583's loading dock area.
I'm not exactly sure. It sounds like he's suggesting you provide it. I don't know. It wouldn't be for loading, it's a
I
pedestrian
think he made
access?
the gate itself because the original proposal before the fire marshal looked at it didn't include the gate, the opening to get out of the door.
No, it says within this fencing,
Yeah, because initially we didn't include it and then we were suggested that we should and so we.
Oh, any access issues having to do, okay, right.
Yes.
So
Means
we're
being able
adding
to
the
get
gate, okay, so, but to Commissioner Zangara's point, maybe putting some benches in front of the overhead door, that'd be very helpful. My concern is with 583, of course, access to that, and I see that the owner has said that they don't have an issue with it, but obviously there could be, something. If you don't happen to rent that space, and there's no guarantee that you're going to, there's no guarantee that they might stay there for a number of years and something might change, then you're going to have an issue with the fencing. Because if somebody comes in and needs that, and it's going to, it's limiting this owner to renting that out to something other than, something that you're talking about or dance that doesn't need that, but be that as it may, that's fine. I assume these green dots here are the ballards?
Yes, they represent the bollards, which will meet the standard recommended or required by the fire department.
So do we have that as a condition, that they'll meet the standard, whatever, and that the green dots are the location of the bollards? And this plan also doesn't show,
Gate.
doesn't show the gate. So that has to be determined, so we need a condition for that. And this gate, how is it secured? I assume you can't have it padlocked. So how is it secured so a child can't open it? Is there going to be sufficient safety locks on it? I don't know.
What he suggested is having the key to lock it. But when children will never be there by themselves, teachers.
Understood, but most kids run at 25 miles an hour before you get there. They could be out the door,
Yeah,
out the
it's
gate.
so the teachers will have the key, and the key will also should be in the visible area. They
That-
can.
I mean, again, I don't know what DCFS says about that. I think that something needs to be looked at there. And I don't know how we can put that together with a condition. Because I thought the fire said that it couldn't be locked.
It
can't
couldn't be
be
padlocked.
Can't be
Can't be
padlocked.
padlocked. Okay. So is there a difference between padlock and locking?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is.
Right. The fire department memo states that latching hardware provided shall be lever type or push bar to meet the requirements of the fire prevention code.
Okay, but that's not locked.
Right.
That's not locked, and that's the difference. It's having a key, I don't believe having a key is what Ron is discussing there.
I think it's locked from the outside.
Yeah.
But it has to be for egress wise. It can't never be locked from the inside
Right.
because if there's a fire, they can come out to that area and they still have to get out of the caged area. So it's still.
Again, to my point about if it can't be locked from the inside, you can push it so any child could do that. That's what I was getting at.
Could we make it higher maybe so they don't?
Well, again, that's how you're going to have to talk to the fence installer to do that,
And the fire department.
and the fire department.
Well, they could probably have a crash bar that has an alarm on it, because it'd be the same thing as if just that back door, that can't be locked for egress anyway.
Right.
So a little kid hits
Exactly,
that.
and it's the same thing, so
Same,
it
yeah.
can't be, right. The use of padlocks to secure the gate would be prohibited. Latching hardware shall be lever type or push bar to meet. So it can't, I think, the use of padlocks, I would assume would include any type of key type mechanism that, you can lock it from the outside, but you can't from the inside.
Well, push bars can be locked.
That was my question. Do we
Push
know
bars
for
can be
certain
locked.
that push bars and latching hardware cannot be locked
No,
with
they
a key?
can. There's usually a little skinny key and you can lock it.
So wouldn't that meet the requirement of, or our concern over locking then?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, these are usual things, like, as long as it complies with the fire code, as Commissioner Zangaro was saying, all doors are usually are regulated, so they have to be able
So
to
I guess-
egress, so.
I guess
I would say-
placement of the fence, placement of the gate and complying with fire department code.
Yeah.
I've
be the
drafted a
condition.
comment that the fencing, bollards, and gates shall meet the requirements as stated in the fire department memo dated January 21st.
Okay. And then I guess the question that I have, chain link. Normally when we have a petitioner in front of us, we normally do board on board. And I was quite surprised that this was chain link. And if it's DCFS, then I'd like to know that, because, that would impact my vote here, because we normally ask, our standard is wood, board on board, in any type of area. And I guess, what did we do with the daycare center on 83? Is that chain link?
No, it's
If you prefer wood,
ornamental.
we can do wood. I'm pretty sure wood is a good material too. It's just, the ones we were considering is also bars. And you know how on McHenry, there's a large daycare center and they have these large bars. And the gentleman who was doing the quote for me, he said that because the area is so small, it's going to look like children are
In jail.
in jail.
You know, that brought to mind what you talked about, a lock that reaches up. They have one like that at the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Before you get into where the buckets come down. So it has to be lifted up. And it would be, that's made for little children. You might want to look at, check with the Park District on what they did,
All right.
because it's very effective.
Okay, all right, that's a great suggestion. But also, as far as the material is concerned, if you feel more
Well,
comfortable.
that's my opinion. I will poll the board, my commission.
Which style, if you're talking wood?
I don't mind wood at all. It would give us more privacy.
But are we talking picket? Are we talking board on board?
I would be talking cedar, board on board.
But is
No.
that allowed by DCFS?
I was just going to say, are we
meet
worried
your-
about wood? What about PVC? Wouldn't it'd be smoother, their children wouldn't get splinters?
I'm sorry if I may, I think the crux here is what is the DCFS requirement? And then if they can only use chain link because of DCFS, then for me, I would look at the code and whether it's allowed by the fire department.
Becomes a moot issue.
Right, so if DCFS allows for different types of fences, then we can talk about that, but I guess we'd have to confirm that.
Well, I know that they do, is the preference is see-through, but I know that they do because the daycare center of Milwaukee, I'm pretty sure they have a wood. You cannot see through. I drove around a few of them just to look at. So they have a little secluded area, and it looks like the plastic or wood there, so.
And like I said, I have experience with some daycares. Again, we've had wood fences and so DCFS, I don't think has had problems with that. So I'm just
I
not
think
sure.
so, too.
I'm not sure if that's
So if it's wood, I would even, if it's more privacy, it's always better for me personally.
Well, but I don't know what to do here, because if we do change the materials, then I'm not certain that I'd want to move this along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a poll and ask everyone if they're okay with the existing chain link presentation.
No.
Right. So,
That's why I'd be surprised.
Ms. Jones suggested maybe like a black powder-coated chain link fence, but still chain link, I guess is the question. So irrespective of that, and thank you for that, I'm going to ask Commissioner Johnson, are you okay with the chain link fence that they're presenting?
Only if it's required by DCFS. I would much prefer either PVC or a wood fence,
Okay, Commissioner
so they
Isaku.
can't climb it.
Right, Commissioner Isaku?
Yeah, I don't prefer chain link. However, if it's within code and it's deemed safe, which I think based on the fire department's memo, I would say it's fine.
Commissioner Powers?
DCFS says it needs to be chain link, well, that's what it's gotta be. Otherwise, I probably would go for either a PVC or board-on-board cedar.
Okay. Commissioner Dorban?
Well, based on what DCFS says, that's fine. However, I too would rather see something like PVC where children can't get splinters. And I also have a little bit of a problem with the chain link because little feet get in there and start climbing, so.
Very true. Commissioner Zangara?
I agree with everybody.
Way down there? Yeah.
Way down.
So what, I think the consensus is that we would like you to investigate what the CFS requires. And then if they don't require a chain link fence, I would work with staff to come up with a better proposal other than chain link. I mean, it's cold right now anyway, so you won't be able to probably
Yeah, it's
install it
true.
anyway. So you do have a little time and you could probably get back to us. So I'd like to make a motion to table,
Continue?
continue, thank you.
Or table, oh yeah, because we don't know.
Which one is it?
It'd be tabling if we're not setting it for a date certain.
The next meeting is February 18th.
Might be able to get something. How about continuing it till date certain of February 18th?
You don't need to.
You don't have to though, because I
Just
mean,
table
if
it?
you, yeah, I would
Yeah.
just table it.
Okay.
It's not a public hearing.
So
you
you
don't have to
understand what
have
we're
it.
looking for?
Yeah, and I actually, thank you for giving me a great idea.
Right, and then-
I prefer it.
Okay,
Myself.
and then also, when you come back, you can have the location of the gate,
Okay,
and then also what the locking mechanism will be, further description of that also,
all right.
okay?
And so, and I remember about the swimming pool, so I'll
Right,
make sure
as you
to.
enter where the bucket comes down.
Yeah, they have that.
They have a pull-up type handle. So you might want to call, the gentleman that was actually here, Larry Raffle, is the planner.
Yeah, that's
You
fine.
might want to call him
All
and
right.
ask him what they used.
Okay, thank you so much. I really
So we'll
appreciate
make a
it.
motion to table.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank
You
you so
very
much.
much.
I
Hope to see you
appreciate
soon.
it.
Sure. She doesn't have to sign anything, does she?
No. But I'd like to give her the sheet that has the recommendations.
Ms. Jones is going to give you a sheet with some recommendations on it. She's going to give you something with some recommendations that we wrote on here, so. Or something see-through.
Or something see-through.
See-through, right,
They'll look
exactly.
like
Right.
a letter from DC.
Yep.
Or if not, if they approve it, I don't know.
Look for Joe. I'll wait for you to go to the next piece. It's that new sweater.
Okay.
We don't decide.
Here's just a list written for you, and then if you have any other questions, you can call me in the office. Yes.
Approval of the minutes for January 14th.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Other business? Ms. Jones?
I have nothing.
Okay. Just since the January 14th was the whole town center, I wanted to make everyone aware that I believe, and Brooke can confirm this, that this Monday, the 1st of February, it's going to the village board for their review, correct?
Yes.
Great, excellent. That's a good thing. Other business, Commissioner Johnson.
I have nothing.
I could have looked at you and said Commissioner Zangara, but I figured I wouldn't do that. Commissioner Saku.
I have nothing.
Commissioner Powers.
Nothing.
Commissioner Doorband
I have nothing.
and Commissioner Zangara.
I just have two things. Wish Trustee Hine the best. And also I want to say a thank you out to Jason Weeder, who is the Wheeling varsity baseball coach, and his coaching staff, and the varsity players for the last 2 months on Sundays. They have worked with the Prospect Heights Wheeling youth baseball kids and have run clinics on Sundays. So I just wanted to say thank you to them.
And
That's all.
Mallory? Nothing. Okay, great. And this Saturday is the Village Appreciation Party at the Ram, starting at 6:30. And I don't have anything, except, might as well put it on the minutes right now that I will not be at the following meetings. I will not be at the March 10th meeting. I don't think we have one on the 17th, nor will I be at the April 14th meeting. And again, if anybody has advance notice, when they're not going to be here in attendance, it's very helpful for staff and myself, because if we don't have a quorum, it makes it difficult, especially if it's a public hearing. So thank you. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Johnson.